But we are going to start actually an actual battle, so bear with me. Go 4 destroyers because we don't have enough players. And 2. Is that enough? 7, 8, 9. Do we have 9? I think we have 9. I'm going to leave epicenter. Alright, there you go. 4 destroyers, 3 cruisers, 2 battleships. You guys figure it out. This is an actual battle. Cove, how you doing, man? Alright, we're about to start, though. So next game for you guys that want to join.
Suck it in.
Suck it in, boys.
No.
There we go. Everyone that's in battle, mute and minimize, please. Just to make it easier, because then you're going to be hearing to your own Discord, okay? Here we go. I didn't see if they were even teams. I think they were even teams. Well, we'll find out now. Oops. I always forget to check. I always trust. It's all that trust system. Destroyers, cruisers, battleships. Perfect. They're just one. Just okay. Perfect. All right. So we're leaving it at whoa. Okay, map or camera. We're leaving it at epicenter. The map is a lot smaller. I mean, 6 is play on this map, but yeah. At this point, you want destroyers to be out in front. You don't want them to... as a destroyer, you want to help out your team as much as you can, right? You're the backbone. You got to understand that you're the backbone. So you got to set smoke screens in a way where you're not just going to sit there and blind your team, because you're the one that's going to be spotting for your team. Cruisers need to be there to help out the destroyers when your destroyer spots the enemy. Battleships should be there to help out the cruisers and destroyers with the enemy cruisers, and vice versa. Everybody should be shooting at destroyers. Everybody. I don't care what's happening. At the beginning of the game, you see a destroyer, you're shooting at them. Believe me. First of all, shooting at destroyers with battleships or any ship will put you at the top 5 right off the bat, because it's percentage based for damage. 100% health of a DD is like the same XP as 100% health of a battleship, if you guys didn't know. So that's why certain players get higher up in the standings than you, but it looks like they did less than you. They did more than you because they shot at the destroyers. Okay, that's very important to know. Plus, you want to get rid of those destroyers because they will furballs it up if they're left alone. Password is ZZ, guys. ZZ. It's always ZZ. From time to time, a Nightbot will tell you also. Yeah, you can watch. You can watch, guys. All right. Don't force a cap. Also, back up into a cap if you're not sure. It's a lot easier to just leave if you're spotted than to get spotted and go full circle while they're shooting you. Obviously, you're going to smoke up, but you don't know if there's radar. You don't know anything else, right? So pushing forward and around and leaving, you're going to get a lot more hits done to you than just leaving, right? You go dark instantly. Don't fire your guns if you're spotted, if you know it's just a DD, okay? Because that DD will most likely shoot at you first. If you don't fire your guns and leave, you're gonna go dark. He's still gonna stay lit for another 20 seconds unless he smokes, which then you're wasting his smoke. He's wasting smoke right off the bat. Now, focus fire is super important. So the F3 key should be very important for you. Right away. See what happened? Hydro. So yes, the Fubuki has better spotting than this T61, but his team was behind an island and couldn't help. T61 had plenty of help. Fubuki gone. Super fast. This is why you can't just go pushing in. You can't just push in. Right? You don't know what you're pushing into. And you can't sit in smoke. Remember what I said earlier. You can't just set a smoke and sit in it. You're losing all the important stuff. Here, this is what green team sees right now. Right? They have no idea what's going on over here. This is what red team sees right now. Most of the team. If you start counting the ships, you see most of the team. Also, green team just lost all their DDs. So what does red team have to do now? Be patient. They have the middle cap. Here's another thing that a lot of players don't do. They're never patient. Oh, we're winning. YOLO, right? You go to get that more damage, the more kills, which really throws the game. If you're going to expose yourself in a way that you're going to just get caught in a trap, because as soon as you get, let's say, spotted here, they'll just focus you down and you're dead, right? So what needs to happen is you have to, as a team, move forward. If your team's not moving forward, don't do it. Sit there, get the win, next game. Yes, it sucks. Yes, you might be doing a mission, but how many times have you been in a game where you're winning and then your team YOLOs and then you die and you lose? But you were winning. What happened, right? That's what happened. People just force the game and give it to the enemy team. The enemy team's on the back foot right now. You don't need to push them. They're ready to trap you if you push. Like, let's say he goes alone here and he's going alone here. He's gonna get trapped right here and die to these two. So there's just no point. Come back, you know, call out to your team, hey, we need help, these guys are pushing, ping them on the map, F3 if you can, and just back up and get them to position. You can still farm them, you can still kite them, you know? But don't just push because you're winning. That's the worst thing you can do. Okay? Steve, how you doing, man? You can join and watch if you want. If you're in the game though, I with the honor system, I'm hoping you guys mute my channel and then minimize, because you're going to be in Discord and playing the game. And the whole point of this is, if you're in Discord, they're all talking to each other right now. We're not going to listen to them though, because the whole point of this is learning, right? Hey Danny, how you doing, bud? Yeah, of course, man. Yeah, this is for everyone. There we go. Right? You just need map control. It comes down to map control. Let them make the mistake to come at you. Win by capping and waiting. Caps you can set as bait. Okay. They're gonna get torps off, but they might die here. Ah, he's dead. Yeah, lucky them. ZZ is the password. It's always the same password. Warhamster, how you doing, man? Yep. Oh, and working as a team is always big. Working as a team with 2 DDs is huge. I don't know anyone that's 1 DD. Like, obviously skill-wise is important, but 1 DD cannot kill 2 DDs if they know what they're doing. Right? Now, these 2 guys are stuck on the outside. The only way they can win this is obviously by killing, because they're not capping this. And if they have to come here, they're in the open, if you notice, right? That's why in Epicenter, it's really important to control the middle. You don't have to control the other 2. This will get you points. These won't get you points the way that this will. Plus this will force the enemy team to have to come out from behind the islands into the open water, where your DDs, if they're set up, it's over at that point, right? You're doing okay? Nice, bud. Nice. So, you notice how, because we don't have enough players, it's really hard to fill in all the positions, and there's a lot of crossfire, and there's a lot of just instant death. That's the problem with training rooms when there's not 12v12. Just FYI, guys. Also, this map might be a little too small, so detection is a little bit skewed. That's one thing that a lot of players don't understand. When they're like they're in the wrong map with the wrong ship tier, your detection's a lot further than what you normally expect, and you get detected a lot earlier. Because let's say you're used to going to this island. Well, with the proper tier, you can get to the island. With the higher tier, you can't because you're detected here, right? So you can never even make it to that island. Things like that happen all the time. So just be aware of what tiers you're playing, and just what's in front of you. Minimap is very important. It's a really good tool. It's like the 13th player. It tells you information gathered by all the players that are on the match. So you have to be paying attention to the minimap all the time. And chat. I know chat's very toxic, but there's a lot of important information on there that you guys should be constantly paying attention to. That's over. Oh, it's over anyway. Floaty, how you doing, man? After this game, I'm going to pull the winner, and then we're going to do the CC container, just FYI. I just want these guys out, because they can't hear me. Yeah, and there we go. Rough. Okay, we're changing the map, though. Oh, and there's more players. Perfect. Thoughts? Not enough players, but now that there's more players coming. What I was calling is DD sitting in smoke, bad idea. Pushing too far forward, bad idea. That's how the Fubuki died, due to hydro, right? Focus fire is important, and map control is important. You're gonna spectate? Okay. Yes, torp and smoke, yeah.
Yeah, so I just came up for a little bit of feedback. They lost both their DDs immediately.
They lost them all immediately.
Yeah,
yeah.
2 of them were to my first 2 racks. So I think I got Dobby because he was sitting in front of one of his battleships.
Yes.
If you're in a DD, be very careful about what's behind you.
Yes.
You can eat torps that aren't even intended for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
true.
He wasn't actually hydroed. I just torped in front of where he smoked up, and he just kind of sat there at the end of his smoke, I think.
Optic, would you like to coach one of the teams?
I mean, I'm kind of doing that.
No, I know, but it'll be easier if you're not playing, because then you have control over the whole map.
Sure.
All right.
So what we did is
No.
sitting in it, chilling.
Yeah.
Really best
So here's...
unless you're like gunboat or something and you have spotting ready, and smoke just allows them to fire.
Yeah, sure. Just one last note about like that Fubuki and basically sitting in your smoke. There's times that you're gonna have to sit in your smoke, like for example, if a CV's hovering over you.
Yes.
That's unavoidable. But in this situation, what really got him was that he was spotted before he smoked up. So
yes,
I knew where in the smoke he was. And that's kind of what was the example there.
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, pushing too far forward, even though you have the better detection, is still not ideal. Yeah.
Yeah, just be aware of if you were spotted or not going into smoke, because your last known location is still available to the other team.
That's right.
That also goes for CVs. CVs can get you in blind smoke as well. Just stay where you last smoked up.
That's right. All right, everyone ready? Everyone in the teams, mute the channel and minimize. Here we go. No YOLOing. No YOLOing, please. Good luck. All right. Now that the teams are pretty much full, guys, we're going to see a little bit better game style. Obviously, some teams work together a lot better than others. It just comes down to knowing how players play, which happens the more and more you play this game, the more and more you know how people play. Chronos, thank you for the follow. Welcome home, my friend. All right, here we go. I personally love this map. I don't know what the hell happens with the camera. Every furballs, but your standard battle. It's all about talking and communication. Remember, if you're not comfortable going into your cap, back up. Take your time. It's not a rush to the caps, guys. Not a rush to the caps. But also, if you guys ever wonder why we're not playing with CVs, learning the game and the fundamentals, the CV won't help you learn it. It'll actually kind of deter you from learning the real positions and what to do. So, no CVs. Most people know that you can't really counter a CV anyway, so there's just no point. It just will ruin the training completely. And just recently we added radar, because also radar kind of puts people into a position where they don't want to be, or they shouldn't be, I mean. So it takes away from the whole learning experience. Madden, how you doing, man? Rich Rumors Rich. Ram, you gotta go to Alpha, or Hangout 1. Hangout 1. Yeah. You might be in the wrong one. Sorry, Rand. Hangout's room 1 for you, bud. Alright, so Belfast is moving in. That's a good position. Anywhere around here, he can pick off most of with the radar. Professor Falcon needs to just spot at first. You don't know what's in front of you, right? You have to assume you don't know what's in front of you. You don't know if the radar ship's here. You don't know anything. So just YOLOing in, bad idea. Coming to the edge of the cap is usually good, because you're staying furthest away from anything that's radar here. Now, the best thing to do is back up, so then you just leave and go dark. Middle is always an option, because you can do crossfires. And here we go. Red team sees this. 3 ships, right? Instant smoke, bad idea. If you're spotted, I can understand you smoke and you leave. If you're not spotted, you're literally telling them where you are. So now he can just do whatever he wants. He can come all the way here and dump torps on you right away. Bad idea. Do not do this. The whole concept of smoking, so then now you have some kind of advantage. You don't. You just lost all the advantage for your team. This is what red team sees. You know why? Because he's not there. See, as soon as he comes out, more people get spotted. So do not do this. Also, he has better spotting than him. So this is what's happening. Now, he should be F3 on him, and he should be leaving, and he should be just smoking up now. Don't waste this time getting hit. Smoke up, waste the smoke, but survive. Because right now, there we go. Now you gotta leave, because you have to expect torps to be coming right away. That's always expected. Never just doubt that there's no torps. Always think that torps are coming, because that's what you would have done, right? Again, pushing up to spot is not always ideal, because you don't know what's waiting for you. Also, battleships never go to the side. You're just wasting time. You're slow. Maintain more of a central spot. So if you're here, going here with the battleship is the worst thing ever. If I was this team now, all he has to do is stay here, and these guys just transition this way. One here, and then the rest of them go this way and go right into the cap. If you know that what's there. You know the battleship's already gone. He's outside the map. He's not going to help out anything over here, right? But if you're over here, you still have an advantage of shooting over here, shooting over here, shooting down here, and shooting over here. If you're in this position, you're so limited, right? Plus, you don't know if there's a DD here, and then you're getting torped right away. Don't go out here. It's not worth it. You're slow, and you're out of the battle right away. You can apply that to almost every map. Certain maps even have a sign that say no battleships. There's a reason why, okay? So spot as a DD, cruisers get rid of the DD, battleships get rid of the cruisers. Notice how he's being focused now? Because there's no point for them to shoot anything here, even if it's spotted. He's by himself. Also, he's fully stopped, and now he's gonna reverse. Turn around, take that citadel, because you're expecting it, and leave. You're gonna take less damage that way than sitting there being farmed while you reverse to some imaginary island that's so far away, he's never gonna make it. That's already done. Middle is good, but you have to be in a position where you can do something with it. Also, pushing forward is not always the answer. So sometimes you have to know if you're outnumbers, you have to just stay and wait. Stay and wait, use your DD to spot for you, and then pick apart by focusing fire, right? You gotta focus fire. Nice, poor. So if you're in this position, then you just need to stay dark and just spot. Just spot, let your battleships do the work, right? What are they seeing? They're seeing this. So if you're gonna put yourself in a position where you're gonna get shot a lot, stop doing it. Go somewhere else. If you're gonna constantly be here, they're gonna expect you here every time. You just have to stop doing it. Now, you see what radar can do, right? So if you know that there's a radar ship here, never go back in. Never go back in. Get into a position where you're gonna spot that radar, your guys can take care of the radar, and then go back in, right? Yes, there is a battleship. Like, see, Bilbro right now is YOLOing. There's no need for that. No need for that. He's outnumbered. He's not gonna make it. He's already low in health. So he should have just backed up at this point. Now, yes, you could have gone forward because maybe there's torps coming in. You never know. That could be a possibility. But then, see, then he's stuck. Now, because he did that, that doesn't mean the rest of the team should be following him. Your DD goes forward and spots. If the DD doesn't see what's over here, don't go forward, because then you're stuck in the open, right? There's nothing here to be hiding behind. So this Nelson should not be pushing any further forward. This Nelson, though, should be helping out. If he's going to pick a side, he has to pick it quick, because his side is failing on one end. Now, this side should be telling this side, hey, we're losing D, FYI, right? And if these guys are capping A, that means that maybe the battleship should just leave, or one of the cruisers should leave and help out with this side. That's always a possibility. This side has to fall back. Same with red team. This team should be telling red team, hey, we're losing A, we need some help. So one of these guys in the back that's not doing much needs to transition to C, right? To start getting crossfires. Because right now, if you guys notice, you can't crossfire from one side. right? There's no crossfire action. But if you have guys here and you have guys here, you get to pick apart guys in positions where they're bunkered down, right? You want to wedge them out. If you're just here, these guys will never have to move, ever. Why should they? But look, they transition down, now they get a crossfire. Now these guys are stuck here. If they want to go back out, they're going to be in the open, right? And that's where the DD is. He's supposed to be spotting. So as these guys are transitioning back, they're going to be broadside in the open. So the only way then is for them to leave the battle further and then come back, and they're completely out of the battle. These guys will take position and you've lost, right? You got to constantly think about these things, which is a lot of information for new players, obviously. So green team, we lost D. D's pushing. Now, instead of pushing past D and coming around, leave D and go through the middle. Position yourself right here, because they have to come around a corner to shoot you. Yes, you have to go around a corner to shoot them, but you already have the cap. If you go this way, you don't know what's coming from over here. You don't know if they're coming through here, right? So if you get caught right here, they're going to be behind you, point blank torp, you're dead. So don't just fall into their base, leave it, and come back this way. That means that this cap is then open, and these guys will be like, oh look, open cap, right? I can't count the ships on the mini-map, so I'm just gonna start going. As he goes here, he's in the open, you're already ready for him, it's over. So it's constant chess. You have to position yourself in a way where you're constantly gonna outplay the enemy, knowing what ships they are, knowing how to deal with them. And that's kind of basically what it is. It's constant. You either fall back or you push forward, knowing when to push forward, knowing when to pull back, right? This Nelson should not be going by himself. He does not know if there's a DD here or not. This is what they see. If they only see this, you don't know where the DD is. So this is very dangerous. Yes, it's very greedy because you want to come here and blast him because you know he's there, but that doesn't mean that's going to happen, right? So your DD should be always going first. Even if there's radar, you want to bait the radar. So you push forward enough, radar's up, you pull back. Radar's gone, you push forward, right? You spot for your team gets rid of the radar. That simple. External, how you doing, man? By the way, guys, if I'm missing out on anything with chat, I do apologize. But if you do have questions, please ask me after the match. I guess it's a lot easier then. Also, Oscar here, he should have known that there's a ship potentially coming because they lost this whole flank. So him being broadside just facing these guys, he deserves these citadels, right? And now he's doing nothing about it by either he needs to go forward and turn towards him. Even force the ram if you have to. But sitting broadside, you're not gonna survive long enough. Right? There we go. Now the boys who did come back to help, which is good because there's a DD here. And these are just battleships. There's just no way, right? So what you need to do here now is you need to stall them. So as the Boise's coming in and they know the Boise's in, look, they're not moving any further. They're not even firing anymore. The Atlanta, if he goes to the smoke, he'll get spotted. That Boise or these battleships will nuke him. So you got to take a chance. You taking that chance, know that you probably might die. Okay. Green team is it's somewhat struggling, but red team now is going to make a push. It's kind of a weird push, knowing that there's a DD here. Well, never mind. Knowing that there was a DD there, I would have never pushed. Because he can easily halt them all, or kill them, or hurt them in a position where the rest of the team will just kill them. Now, the fact that they just pushed them and killed them, there you go. Now they can freely push, knowing that there's most likely this Ghanaian now in a Belfast by now, right? So there's nothing to really be afraid of. So just push forward. He should go middle and help out here. And now red team or green team here should know that they're losing, obviously, over there too. So they need to understand that they need to transition again by hiding this side and getting ready for this side. But at one point, you can't just keep transitioning, right? Because you're down ships. They're coming from all angles. So it's a loss. Try to do as much as you can, because red team can still YOLO in and die, and you can potentially still win. It happens. It happens all the time. NP, how you doing, man? Just do the YOLO lemming train? No, actually never do that. That's the worst advice ever, but funny. Funny. I think the Nelson died to a ram. Horrendous. He had so much health. Remember, if you're going to be playing ships that are like battleships, let's say, you need to be in a position to help your team. Sitting behind an island with the Gneisenau wasn't exactly the most ideal spot. And I'm not trying to make this personal, guys. I'm just going to call out the ships the way I see them. I'm not looking at the players and who's playing them. Right? Scharnhorst is going forward. Yeah, at this point, yeah, see? Josh is going to the middle. Even if he can hear me or can't hear me, notice how he went exactly where I was saying he should. Because there's no need for him to be here. There's absolutely no need. None of these guys can do anything to these guys in this position. Yes, he has torps, doesn't matter. Yes, he has radar, doesn't matter. He needs to come this way and help out with this. Because look, they're still halt. They're still there doing nothing, right? Atlanta's gone. There goes the Boise. Again, I called that already. Now the Boise should be helping out with this guy. He can't be everywhere. Zara's gone, and then Poltova's dead to just torps. A little too late, but the Boise can easily, yeah. Boise could have handled all of them. They needed a DD to be alive. DD obviously died early, so huge disadvantage. That's the power of destroyers, guys. They're literally the backbone of the team. They do it all. They need to do it all. You can't always expect the CV to be there and doing things for you. Plus, even if they're there, most CVs don't do things for the team regardless. So you need to learn the game as if there's no CVs. Because CVs aren't played correctly. Madden, thanks, man. It's just a lot of information. Guys, remember you can come back to this video. It lasts 60 days on my channel, so come back, rewatch it, try these things out. It's not going to be instant because you're going to be doing things that you're not comfortable with. Solid, though. Solid. DD is the most important ship in the game. It is. Yeah. And you have the least amount of health, and people shoot on you the most. Yeah. And you have to do the most things. It's played correctly, man. The DD can do it all. Yeah. Hi, by the way. Yes, hi. Tunnel vision. Yeah. Another thing, guys, don't tunnel vision. Shoot, pull back out. Shoot, pull back out. Notice if there's shots coming in, right? You gotta see shots coming in, especially if you're a cruiser. You're not gonna see the shots come in if you're not looking, and you're gonna get erased really quick. Yeah, you can't tunnel, guys. You tunnel, you're dead. You have to be head on a swivel. You gotta know what's happening constantly. Plus, sitting in... the number one thing with DDs is they don't understand that they're the ones spotting for their team. Like I said, right off the bat, Canadian got into the cap, smoked up. He wasn't even spotted. He wasn't spotted. Yeah, you use your smoke as, like, you're about to leave. Like, I'm in trouble, smoke up and leave. Not, I'm in trouble, smoke up and sit there and eat torps. That's usually the common thing. Also, if you're another DD and you see your DD stops in smoke, don't go and join him. Torps are on their way, most likely, 99% of the time. Same with cruisers, same with battleships. If a DD is in smoke, do not just go and join him because torps are on their way. I guarantee it. So then you're gonna eat the torps and then you're gonna say, wow, that DD didn't spot those torps for me. He didn't spot the torps for you because he's in the smoke where you're in. You should have known better. So you can't always blame everyone else. Right? Yeah. Suck it in, guys. Get that knowledge in. Just little things that they add up. You don't have to sit in a cap constantly. Once you have the cap, leave the cap towards your team. Don't just push into the enemy team, right? Leave it as an ambush point. Most caps don't have islands. So you leave the cap yours, they have to come into the cap. That's when you come back. You spot, your team's already ready, done, right? Interesting. What did you see? Yami, thank you for the follow. Welcome home.
From my side, nothing too egregious.
I mean, there's
them to focus down Dobby's Belfast a little quicker, since that was the main threat on that side to the Strat CU that was playing capping games with the other Strat CU.
Yes. Well, that's the thing too.
Times, but he lived until the end of the match.
A cap kind of held their own, which was good. It's kind of like you hold off because the other side is winning, so you just wait. that little end push there where you guys pushed into the Shiratsu and killed him, if you wouldn't have killed him, they would have eaten a lot of damage. So it's kind of tough to know when to push. Also, the guys from Decap kind of split up, and instead of going down to the middle and kind of helping out the rest of the team, they went up into the enemy team, and then you saw they got stuck, right? So when you cap, it's kind of hard to know when to push past the cap. That's where the DD comes in play. The rest of the ships should just not be following the DD blindly, because if the DD gets caught real quick, he's dead, and then the rest of the ships are out in the open. So just
I
map awareness.
The Z39 and the Atlanta were playing off of each other, so the
Yes.
Atlanta was radaring while
Exactly.
the Z39 was smoking, and then
Exactly. Well, the early smoke from Canadian also didn't help him. The early smoke from Canadian, he got stuck. They knew exactly where it was. They repositioned and he was dead. Plus, then he came back. He came back to that death trap, which was horrendous.
That's what I was going to say. The only thing that really stood out to me from the other team was the Akatsuki at the beginning.
Yeah.
The first time you get spotted, I mean, in Akatsuki, you don't have the greatest concealment at that tier.
No.
You're not a Shiratsu, for example. You had 2 DDs basically that outspot you. The Z39, not so much as the Shiratsu, but it still outspots you. So you pushed in at the beginning. And,
he did get outspotted. Sorry, I thought he did.
You did get outspotted the first time, and you made it out of it, but then you came back for more.
Then you came back for more, and that's the problem.
You knew that there was a DD in the area that already outspotted you.
As a cruiser, you don't want to be doing flanks, Yami. You want to get into a position where you can counter the DD. As soon as your DD spots the enemy DD, you need to be killing that DD. You're not there to farm battleships. You're not there to farm cruisers. Kill the DD, farm away. If that DD's not dead, that's your main job. So you need to be in a position where... Can you turn up his volume? Yeah, sorry. You guys won't be able to hear him in a few minutes anyway, but... you got to be in positions where you're going to be countering the person you're supposed to be killing, which is cruisers kill the destroyers, right? That's your first target. Then it's cruisers and battleships simultaneously. Mostly battleships first, but... Yeah.
I think that game also illustrates pretty well what happens when you do take out a DD early. You saw how the flank on the west side of the map was pretty much a stalemate for the first half of the game. Because it was 2 Shiratsus trying to play the same cap, and you know they both have the same concealment, same sort of gimmick. So it was just a back and forth of trying to take the cap and not being able to take the cap. Whereas the right hand side, the eastern side of the map, just rolled up the entire, like after the DD was gone, there's just nothing there to stop them.
Yes, the only thing your team didn't do is they didn't have 1 or 2 players in the middle to help out with the other side. Green team did, and even though the Nelson didn't help out enough, he still had Crossfire on the team at a cap. It's just he didn't capitalize on it. That's a huge thing with this map. You got to get that Crossfire in, so you need people in the middle. Not all the time, but enough to help your side win to then transition, right?
Yeah, that's another thing I pointed out for them. There was 2 battleships, a Nelson and an Isono, on the right hand or on the left hand side of the map. That for a good portion of the game were occupying about the same map square.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. Battleships should not be standing next to each other. Yep. They should be there getting ready for the Crossfire. They should be there relieving pressure. That doesn't mean YOLO into caps, right? You're not there to just eat torps and then die. That's not the point. But you're going to be exposed. They're going to see you. But you're there to help your DD out with those cruisers. And that's what your DD's there for. So start eliminating these things. It just makes it really hard.